Contract with a flash to dodge away from the Glacial Prison as Impact slices and dices back over the wall. Ignar doesn't have a flash to get away now. He re-engages with a Magnet Storm onto 3. Vic was dead and FBI got the kill. FlyQuest are trying to fight, but they're already slammed back down into the river. Vic going in the stopwatch. Drake's secured. FlyQuest is crushing energy in the back. Ignar with FBI and Palafox are all killed. That's it, GG. FlyQuest are gonna get their second win.
Oh no.
Yeah, all right. Team Liquid just gives a free one away there. Cloud9, nice job on the pick, but now they gotta get away afterwards. Blaber killed in response. Fudge locked up with a hostile takeover into the Cyclone. Yoshik still looking to push this one forward. Zven goes into the back and finds the target, but Fudge cannot complete the kill on Yawn. He's only re-engaged into another death and a double kill for the Aphelios.
So Diamond moving up, he's gonna be the target here from Turtle. Jensen coming in from the other side, but it's Spooky throwing down the ulti, and they're gonna get the first kill on a Diamond. Turtle with the reset, but in comes Jensen sweeping it back, and Turtle's in trouble. Turtle's down already as it's Chime on the retreat. In comes the killer instinct though, and Toma will claim another kill.
You okay? Okay.
Looks like Johnny.
That's not one. Go side, go side. That's not.
No flash.
Not anymore. Back up.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
Woo! Big Benson. I know you love that
money. It's good money.
Solo, as the tank, is positioning himself between IMT and the rest, but Jojo throws the stolen Ornhorn into the back line, and thus Tactical is eliminated. Solo soon to follow. Immortals have to wallow in their tears, but Revenge, look at the angle he's got. Pops the Dominus early, goes for the hit onto Treats, and eliminates him immediately. Tactical, the next to fall. Armao putting in the work. Oh, still going for it. Quid pops the watch who he has fallen. Double lift executing with the autos to the best he can. And multiple members down on both sides. A big blast of damage onto multiple members of 100 Thieves. GA has been popped in the pit by one. Make that two. Make that multiple. Boozy on the opposite side of the pit. Already fallen. 100 Thieves. Where'd you go? Golden Guardians eradicating the squad. Taking the ace. Taking the Elder, taking everything.
Birthday cast.
It is for my birthday. It's Kobe's birthday. For my birthday present, I also want Raz to twerk. I thought he was gonna do it when he brought it up a second time.
Welcome back to the LCS. Raz, what?
I didn't see that.
Happy birthday.
I didn't. It's not my birthday.
That was you.
You killed it.
That was you.
Crushed
Happy
it.
birthday yesterday to Kobe and Mark.
Yeah, that's what I did for them. Yes, I gave you a different gift, but just in case you didn't appreciate
I deserved it after your first gift, which was rather rude. I did see.
Yeah.
I was doom scrolling just on
Tony Snell
on YouTube.
Yes.
And I saw that they posted it, and it actually got a lot of interactions. Just you crapping on me. It was very successful. It won the poll.
What's funny is the LCS tweet that was just you doing nothing had no context. You could just be scrolling. You're like, why is the LCS bullying Mark?
Yeah, there was something about Raz.
It wasn't part of the drop segment.
Yeah.
With drops being back.
No, it didn't really tie in. I dropped some stats.
That was a screw Mark tweet. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Anyway, today is going to be the completion of our first round robin of the Summer Split regular season. So let's pull up the standings and the schedule for today. EG in first place is 7-1. Shocking first place, but they could be tied by Cloud9 today in that match if Cloud9 is able to come out on top. We got Golden Guardians and TL tied for third. Dig alone in fifth, much like we expected them to be in spring, not necessarily summer. 100 Thieves Energy TSM tied for sixth, and FlyQuest and Immortals tied for ninth.
Yeah, I mean, you already mentioned the EG point, but then you get a bit of distance between them and Cloud9. A 2-game piece of difference is probably the biggest one you can ask for. And then you are forced as a fan to recognize Evil Genius's strengths as a team. A lot of times you'd be like, no, it's just gonna be the start of Split. No, they are just legitimately the best team. That starts today.
Well, and then tracking the bottom, because FlyQuest, as you see, take on Immortals Progressive in a game that now has a lot of weight behind it as FlyQuest attempt to kind of crawl their way back into making our 8-team playoffs. That's actually a really important game for both teams in that regard.
Today's actually huge. Every single matchup is within 1 game apart.
True.
So every single one is a position battle with someone that you're competing for that exact same spot.
And look, it's not a mistake that I'm pointing up, though I like the way the graphic moved away.
Okay.
But both FlyQuest and IMT facing it shows that they're facing each other.
Yeah.
Hey, it is a battle of facing your own demons. Both these teams, like basically, they're failures throughout the split. Now, FlyQuest is different. They're actually finding some success recently, and it feels like they talking about how they have improved personally throughout their scrims. Like that matters.
Yeah.
And it's just finding themselves. That seems to be the point that I wanted to make there.
Yeah. So what we're going to show you next may shock you.
Uh-oh.
It was our power rankings from the start of the split.
Hey, where you going with that camera? Don't. Hey!
Let's not spend too long
Now
on these.
listen, these could still be right. Eventually. Because this is from the start of summer. This was before any games was played. Let me make that abundantly clear. It is just a check-in to see where we're at now.
And mathematically, as we saw when looking at the FlyQuest things, they're not eliminated from second place or third place, which most of us put them in.
Mathematically, anything could happen in the first half. Like anything could happen in the first
What
place.
are they
Could also
up
be
to?
undone.
Like 1%.
They're going to be up there. Anyway, so now let's go to just the analysts and then also what the current standings are. So if for some reason the season were to end today,
I feel pretty good.
this is how far off it would be.
Mark gets.
I believed in EG the most out of any of us.
You did.
That's about the only dub I
Golden
had.
Guardians,
Golden
though,
Guardians, so
bang on.
stable.
We're really good
So
at it.
stable.
Great at recognizing
You know,
Golden
what's
Guardians.
crazy is their games have been bananas too. Like that game versus 100 Thieves yesterday, they easily could have lost, but somehow they win, and there they are, the most stable at third.
I would say I was the closest with Team Liquid, so I'll pat myself on the back for that one. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you get
Congratulations.
the TL.
Yeah,
TL win.
Yeah.
Dig overperforming, I think, is maybe the biggest positive surprise other than EG. Was I think a lot of people were pessimistic on this roster after spring, but in spring split, everyone had them at 5th, 6th-ish.
Yeah.
When you saw Santorin
Yeah.
and Jensen sign,
Yeah.
it just took a little bit longer to get there, but this is actually what kind of their expectations were at the start of the year. It was just such an awful spring that lost all the faith.
Well, that and TL, right? Because I feel like most of us rated TL compared to where we thought they ended in spring. And initially, we had rated them super highly at the beginning of spring. And I think they've been a really pleasant surprise in terms of a team that did decide to stay with their roster, decided to stay with their game plan, and has visibly improved as a 5-man unit.
Yeah, we're going to play a game as well that I really enjoyed playing last split. It's expectations versus reality.
Heyo.
So we just saw what the expectations and the reality have been, but each of us is taking a matchup today because also all the matchups are from teams that are very close together in the standings.
True.
Yep.
But the way they got there was a little different. So we're going to represent using Twitch emotes what the expectations of the team was versus what the reality
go
of
to
the
the
team
telly?
is.
There it is.
Yeah.
As a Twitch gremlin.
You were up first.
As a Twitch gremlin, this is my bread and
You
butter.
better nail this.
Oh, here we go. This one's easy for me. For 100 Thieves, it's Wokage. And the reason for that one is simple. Like, they made so many changes, I didn't know where to start. Like, you're bringing in your Hall of Famer back, but you're losing tenacity. It was like a big thing. It's like, okay, so the long-term goals are kind of, they're shifting quite heavily. Oh, but Bjergsen is also retiring, but now you have Quid. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that one. But you're keeping Lucio and Double to the bot side of the map. I like that. But it had me thinking. It had me not able to sleep.
Okay.
All right? So I think that one, my expectation was that, generally speaking, like, I didn't know what to think.
You were
and
just
I would
kind
be
of
thinking about it.
concerned and up at night thinking about what happened.
Concern. For TSM, I was praying. Like, just generally.
Preying on their downfall?
Praying on the fact that they would do well.
Preying on their downfall, got it.
And praying for the fact that they stay in the league. But also praying the fact that they do well. So, like, this is my understanding. Is like, okay, please do well. And also, what the hell? But then here comes the reality.
Okay, what is it?
Boom. If we just
Magic.
I shouldn't hit it. I should not hit our TV.
You just broke it.
I should not hit our TV. Maybe I broke it. Who knows?
All right,
But
roll the reality.
if we could roll the reality, because for me, the reality quite. Oh! 100 Thieves have arrived! Coach Kane is now in the country. Quid is
It took
playing
him.
well. You don't have to play with your coach. Hey, they just started playing the game in week 3.
What does Troll Despair do?
Yeah.
Why are you Troll Despairing for TSM?
Because you're
Explain.
just in despair. Like, what else is there to say? Like,
Insanity was great.
and he was a Twitter troll.
He's also not there.
And now he's not there anymore, so I'm in despair. And I thought, I had a little bit of faith, a little bit of copium, so maybe the copium should have been there. Just about the fact that, okay, now Ruby's here, maybe with the intended roster, you guys can play. No, and now everyone is not performing. So it's not, I was praying, the prayers did not succeed. I was awake for a little bit of while, but now the team has arrived, so
I like
that
it.
was a fair point.
I like it.
All right.
Okay.
Who's next?
It says
think I
Emily's
am.
next.
Emily's up next. I gotta say, I would think the prayers have been answered. TSM has won more games than people were expecting.
Yeah.
But
Through so far. I mean, Ruby's come in now. It's a different story, but
if this ended in week 2, I would have been happy.
okay.
Yeah, I feel like the Prage emote is going to get a lot of mileage here. So I also chose it for Immortals in terms of like, we're praying this roster works out.
Yeah.
Please give it to us.
Begging.
And for FlyQuest, I did Nodders. It's like, you know, we're bringing the roster back. We're good.
They're vibing.
We
They have
didn't.
Vulcan.
Yeah, we didn't finish. We didn't finish where we wanted to, but we added one of the most highly rated supports in the LCS. We're gonna be going great, right? Not great. So obviously they're playing.
You know
they're
what?
trying to playoffs run. Monkasteer, they maybe might not have control of the car, but they're trying. This, I actually wanted, it's wide people sad, but I really wanted Feels Rain Man. And we can't use it, but it would have been perfect, because obviously, even after a kind of unexpected good start in week 1, things haven't worked out for Immortals thus far. So, and again, this is a super important matchup. Both teams are kind of like,
I
what are
feel
we
like
doing?
it is raining, though, right? Those aren't tears. It's just
I mean,
rain.
I wanted Feels Rain Man, but we can't use it in the LCS chat. So maybe just spam LCS chat so we can use Feels Rain Man.
I was also gonna say that Monkasteer, if they didn't 2-0 this week so far, they would be in a ditch.
Yeah.
That would have already crashed.
Like,
But they saved it at
yeah.
the last second, and that's why it's.
That's fair.
yeah, again, all of these are matchups today, so that's going to be game 5. I'm going to preview match 1. So expectations were varied for these two teams coming in. I think people definitely expected C9 as the defending champions, bringing back their whole roster to just be Giga Chad, and EG had a little bit of conversation. So a lot of people thought that they were going to be a little Omega Law.
Yeah.
With the off-season, with the Twitter trolling
blow
between
up.
themselves and Vulcan, the expectations were not that high. I'm proud of these two. The realities, though, for these two, C9 has been a little bit too dank. Like, way too dank. They're
Way too
playing
dank.
Zeri mid. They're running it down in a
They're
lot of their
playing
games.
Yumi.
They're playing way too loose. But everything that happened with EG is definitely 5-head. They
Yeah.
have completely blown up what people thought was an amazing roster. They've sent the Summer Split 2022 MVP to Narnia. He doesn't even have a team right now,
Yep.
yet they're in first place. How 5-head are you, really? They take a bunch of players who, like, Revenge went from Immortals to first place.
Yeah.
Unforgiven went to Academy to first place. Armao went from not even Academy to first place.
Coach to first place jungler.
Unbelievable.
There's amaze in that head.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good
5-head.
one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like
That's
the
good.
C9 one
That
a
is
lot.
good.
That's a
I
pretty
like
good
that
one.
one.
All right,
Mark.
all right. Time for my turn.
It's gonna be off. Just kidding.
All right, so the first one is Aware for Team Liquid.
Oh no!
Because coming in, we all had them rated low, and I think we were actually spring the start of Aware. People believed in this team. Then you just watch them throw game after game after game. That's the end of your spring expectation heading into summer was
8th place, no
I like
changes.
it.
eighth
Yeah.
place, no changes, just the coach change. You're like, we're terrible. Golden Guardians, you're vibing to the point about the no changes, kind of like Nodders. You know, it's like, hey, we're bringing back the same guys. We went to MSI. We actually did pretty good. You think things are going to go great, and that's what you would expect out of them. Everyone put them third.
True. That's such a good run.
Let's see the realities. Wide Boris for Team Liquid. They're just coming through the
I love it.
standings, just
That's
moving up
great.
the back.
I almost used that as
Wide
well.
Boris, yeah,
That's a good
I
one.
love Wide
a great
Boris.
one.
Yeah, so they are just unexpectedly great, just moving up the standings, smashing people in the early game, blowing up C9's bot lane. Golden Guardians, it's kind of like, are you guys okay? Because they are in third place. You're kind of checking in on them, though, plinking, like, are you okay, sir? Like, checking, like, you did win that game, but it was hideous. And a lot of their games, like, even the Team Liquid one, I think it was, where they had the Yone top for Licorice, they had the split push, or that was Dig, maybe. Anyways, all their games are very close to losses that they have to, like, clutch out in weird ways. They also lost that one where they tried to go for the Elder Dragon. They're still in third, but it's like, sir? Sir?
Yeah.
Anyways, those are mine.
Yeah, they've been having a lot of Elder Dragon games. I
love
just
it.
realized. Their last 2 games. The one that they won versus 100 Thieves, where they lost their huge lead, but still ended up winning the game.
All the
They'll
smites
take
that
those.
got stolen away
Anero
as
tweeted
well.
yesterday that I ruined his life.
You did, actually. That
But
was
he won
great.
yesterday.
But his mental
The
health.
stress
Yeah.
levels that you've
Yeah.
been
Exactly.
That was a
imparted.
lot of stress. They've given up Cloud Soul in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Should have won them both. Maybe. I feel like actually 1-1 in the last 2 games, giving up Cloud Soul is pretty accurate for Golden
Yeah.
Guardians.
But that's why you're looking at them
Yeah.
like, huh?
You okay?
The residue of your apology is
I'm
starting to wear
surprised-
off. So.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one used huh. Huh is like one of the most
Huh?
popular emotes.
Yeah.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah.
Han didn't fit any of mine.
We'll be able to do it again. right?
Yeah.
That was good. So that was 4 of the matchups today. But looking back, as we're about to conclude our first round robin, a lot has happened already. So we're going to be going to the second half, but we're going to take a moment to talk about maybe favorite, most exciting, interesting moments, kind of in case you missed it from the first half. Raz, I know you brought something for us.
That's true. I know you were talking about the Field Rain Man, because they did start actually really well at the beginning of the split, and they had one of the best moments where they were down so much, but they still had the willpower to bring it back. So this is their comeback win that they had, and the comms attached to it.
Okay, our win condition now is farm this without losing the game, and then hope that we get 4 items.
Yeah.
He's dead, I think.
That is dead.
He's dead. He's dead. Help Annie.
Nice, we gotta go base. We gotta go base.
Everyone base. Leave Annie if you have to. Leave Annie. It doesn't matter.
I think it's
go base. Go base.
Just run.
Go defend.
That is really good for us.
Defend, boys.
It's fine.
Oh, that was you? Or that was them.
I have no smite.
Oh, he has no smite.
It's fine.
Kill. Oh,
Bro.
Should have told me that before.
Yeah, we need to know.
Okay, now it's probably GG.
Flip it.
Yeah, let's go. Hitting it. Nice, good job. Out.
Give him. Kill Jax, guys. Come talk for Jax.
Okay, this is winnable.
Yeah, guys. We honestly, they're fucking sweating right now, guys. Just one more good fight on mid wave and we win the game, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe look at Zeri, though.
Yeah. Zeri.
No flash.
Front line. Zeri after.
Help AD carry, guys. Help AD carry. Go mid. Get the Baron wave.
Yeah. We're fine. Use
I have stun here. I'm walking out. Running down.
Look Jax only, okay?
Look at Jax. Oh, come on, man. Damn.
Holy
Go.
Raz, that was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the last time they won.
Oh, no!
They haven't won since. They're on a 5-6 game losing streak since that moment.
Oh my God.
Raz!
It was supposed to be a feels
back.
good.
Yeah.
Now it's just.
Well, you
Now
were
it's a
thinking too
feels
much.
right, man.
You were thinking too much. You should have just left it at the good vibes and not thought about what's happening.
Turn your
currently.
brain off, Jatt. Turn your brain
Now
off.
Emily's going to talk about the Insanity Quadra. I see it right now. Go,
Yeah.
Emily.
Okay, you know what? You might not believe
sad.
in NA mids. Teams might not
I
believe
do.
in NA mids, but I do.
I love NA mids.
This is Insanity's Quadra kill. I think a lot of people didn't really know what to expect when Insanity was substituting in while Ruby was trying to get his visa to come to the country and play for GSM. I think he performed not only just like well, but was an instrumental part of so many of their wins. This is obviously the Quadra kill they got to take this game against FlyQuest. And I think, again, in a world where people denigrate NA players and NA mids, I wanted to highlight a really good play from Insanity.
Yeah, especially since the Graves mid became so much of the talking point through the second week that people forget that he was actually playing well in week 1 as well.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool to see him get his good shine in before the substitution happened. We'll see what happens.
Praise that we see more of them. Let's check out today's schedule for the LCS. Game 1, Cloud9 versus EG. Game 2, TL versus Golden Guardians. Game 3, Dignitas versus NRG. 100 Thieves and TSM, and closing out the day with Immortals versus FlyQuest. But before we get into our match of the week, C9 versus EG, let's take a minute.
I'm taking a minute.
Let's take a minute to take stock
of the two teams and how they stack up against each other.
That wasn't a minute.
Teamwork.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just checking. So first off, I do have something about C9 bottom lane getting slammed, I believe.
Yeah, this is something that I was alluding to a little bit with the TL Boris time, is that they absolutely clap early games. They have still, I think, not really won a very close game. That's the whole time that feels like those get away from them. But if they play well, they can blow out anyone in the entire league, and that included C9 yesterday, where just off bot lane trades, Pioshik playing around in that, they just dominate this game. This is 4 minutes in that they've already killed them just based off 2v2 and one jungle will show up.
Yeah, a lot of credit to CoreJJ and Jan. I think they did a lot of good work here within the lane. And it's not just this game, they do this constantly. And calling in Pioshik at the perfect time so they can make this a reality, the dive a reality. Didn't even need much of a help in the first one, but yes, it was continuous.
Yeah, I think the big thing to me, an improvement, because like not only did Core and Jan stomp this lane, but also bringing in Piosik, like you said. Like, that's been the main improvement of this TL team, is when they do get advantages, they know to call their jungler, they know to call their mid laner to help them, especially bot lane, where they can accelerate it.
And the small thing to note is that this was against Cloud9, and this is something that Zven has had some struggles a couple games now. Blaber was on Vi, got taken advantage of, and it speaks to some of the potential weaknesses that exist within this roster. I
agree. That was a bad game for Cloud9, but I do want to talk about the good game that Unforgiven had.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of a deep dive here. I saw a tweet from LS that Unforgiven had close to perfect CS in this game, and it made me go back and watch his entire laning phase. It's not perfect CS, but I do want to show some of the things that he did to keep his CS really well based on recall timings. So he actually did miss about 10 CS throughout this laning phase, but he only ever missed 1 CS anytime he'd go back to base because of the way he'd crash a wave and immediately go back. So this is his first recall at 5 minutes and 15 seconds. He resets, and if you look at the way this wave is now coming into his tower, the turret obviously hits the first melee and then it's going to switch to the cannon, and he's already back. So he's missed literally 1 minion for that first reset where he's able to pick up his BF sword. We can go to his next reset at 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Again, instead of doing any type of harassment, escorting exactly to the turret, as his support is roaming mid, he goes back to base. And if we just pay attention, Tactical tries to shove it in as quickly as possible, but again, only 1 minion is dropped in this entire exchange, and then he gets basically the God reset here as he finishes killing a wave. A fight breaks out in River. He's able to help clean up the fight. He can just literally walk back into the wave, clean up the whole wave. Again, instead of trying to greed for plates, he goes back to base once again. And if you watch the amount of time that he's gone for, literally just 1 minion drops, and he's back.
There it is.
So, all told, by 14 minutes, he had 151 CS. And from the 15th wave on that reset to 14 minutes, he did not miss a minion. It was perfect CS, aside from the 1 minion he missed when he recalled. And it made me look up some stats. So, across the 4 major regions, Unforgiven has the highest CS per minute in the world so far in the 8 games he's been able to play. He has been CSing at an absolutely unbelievable pace, and then the 151 CS at 14 minutes seemed high because it was. So this is every game from the LCS this split, and Unforgiven actually has the top 2. So he hasn't had the highest DPM because JoJo's always fighting without him in these mid jungles.
Yeah.
But in terms of his ability to just get gold, he has been the best player in the LCS and one of the best players in the world.
I think this is really cool stuff, considering he's been, like you said, flying under the radar and how much attention we've been giving to JoJo. But it does in the matchup after we just watched C9's bot lane get pooped on yesterday, start raising some potential questions. I think we've all assumed C9's bot lane is the best for a long period of time. I think we have to ask that question now.
Yep, so what we're doing is we're going roll by roll, C9 for ZG. This is the match of the week. We're looking at what we think is the matchup. And, okay, I was very close to giving this to Unforgiven after watching his laning stats, but for me, this is not just laning, this is also team fighting, and it's also giving Berserker the benefit of the doubt because he was the MVP.
Yes.
He was literally the MVP of the last split.
Yes. You have to give him that respect. And another thing as well, if you remember the team fights, I love the fact that you mentioned team fights.
Yep.
I remember the Dignitas lost, and there were earlier games in week 1 in which it's like, oh yeah, Unforgiven's team fighting at times. There's only 1 or 2 times where you can make a mistake. But Berserker, for the most part, has been great. So I think they're extremely close. That's why I put them fairly close, like 50-50, like 55. So I thought it was going to be a contested matchup.
Yeah, and we're on to support as well on the screen here because bot lane is obviously more than just a 1v1.
Right, and to factor that in, I think as a whole, JoJo absorbs so much pressure mid. There's not many times that people like really gank bot lane or can focus on Forgiving. He does such a good job farming up, and then he's a late game beast. I do feel like people target Berserker a lot more, and I do feel like this split, Zven has struggled a little bit more. That Rakan game was not it. He had a Yuumi game where I don't just like that champion being picked. There's a couple of things like that where if we're isolating to just this split, I actually think Eyla has been amazing. This is not a career rating. This is this split for me. I am not including the fact that Zven has won titles as a support. So I want to be clear when I say when you see this ranking with me on the Eyla side, it is based off the first 8 games, Eyla has been incredible.
And I think the champion points into consideration. The Rakan game was a tough one just because he's going into Renata and Ornn. I think it's really difficult for Rakan to actually do well in that situation. And Yuumi, what can you do? But for the most part,
you can make a real champ.
What can you really do? But I think the games that we've seen and that I've judged him on, I think that he's really good at being able to rotate on the map and work alongside Blaber and find timings for Emenes. So I think he has the game knowledge past laning phase to make an impact. So I really love the Milio game too. I think it was the first game of the split. So had him, really highly regarded.
Yeah, bot lane, very close.
Very close.
Let's move on to jungle.
Oh.
I don't think many people are going to put Armao above Blaber. I was close because of how well Armao has played. Mark, you're the closest at 55.
Show me a game like the one that Blaber just played out of Armao. You can't do it. That's this split. Again, remember my things. I do think Blaber has had higher highs. I do think that there are times where he has made like absolutely insane game-winning plays. I feel like, you know, it's not like all bad for him. I don't want to make it sound like that, but Armao has been extremely clean. He has been maybe like flawless in a sense, even if he doesn't have as many pop-off moments as Blaber, and that's why it's still Blaber-sided for me, but it is very close.
I actually think, I favor Blaber here. I think that Blaber is a lot more versatile. I also think that Armao, like when you think about what is driving EG right now, right? We're going to be complementary across the board, but what is absolutely driving this team is mid-jungle and how much pressure they're able to soak and also how much pressure Jojo creates with his forward percentage that allows Armao to kind of be wherever he wants in relation to his lanes. Obviously, we're all siding on the Jojopyun mid, and I think the weirdest kind of hot take coming out of this is that I value Blaber and Emenes as individuals so highly, and I have so much respect for them. But in terms of the mid-jungle duo with the most impact together as a duo, I actually think it's definitely Jojo and Armao right now.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting how with bot lane, generally speaking, we were saying we favor Berserker, but we favor Eyla. In the mid-jungle, we're saying we favor Blaber, but we favor Jojo. And they end up being 2v2s so much of the time, so we should be having a really close game. Let's pull up predictions really quickly before we get to top lane in this one. Did everyone pick Cloud9?
Bang!
The fan vote very on the track of EG.
I definitely trolled.
According to this, you did not.
No, I definitely trolled what I sent. I'm an idiot.
Okay, so you predict EG.
I will change it. Yeah, I know I sent C9 because I'm an idiot, but I meant to say EG.
Okay. So we're putting you as an EG.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say this about C9. I think, obviously, in the expectations versus reality, we covered how sometimes, as you said, they can get a little too dank with their compositions and how loosely they play. I think this is a game that they're going to take super seriously, and they're going to come in and want to establish that they're the best team in the league.
Oh, they've done it very quickly, too.
Yeah, wow.
Let's go, graphics.
There we go. Awesome stuff. And we haven't covered top lane yet, but that's also because Revenge and Fudge met up just before this game to do a little bit of trash talk with each other.
Ooh.
First of all, I have something to say about today's matchup. We're playing against each other today.
Yes.
The fight for first.
That's actually crazy. We'll tie for it.
We'll tie for first, but we'll have head-to-head so far.
Yes.
1-0.
Yes.
If we win.
This is the end of the round robin.
If you guys win, you guys are too good.
Yeah, if we win, we're too good. Because we're 7-1, they're 6-2. And this will be our first time versing each other because it's the end of the first round robin.
Yep.
And it's pretty exciting. I've never been in this position before in my career, actually, where I'm battling for. It's pretty crazy. I'm going to sleep at night like, damn. So this is what it feels like not to be stressed out.
Like you're not
crazy.
stressed.
Okay, you guys don't understand. There's like a massive ego battle in the jungle happening today.
And the mid lane.
And the mid lane. But mainly, okay, jungle is like crazy.
Jungle is the biggest ego battle I've seen in a while.
Like Blaber was being coached by Armao last split. The coach is now taking on the player. This is like if Nuke Duck subbed in to verse Quid on 100 T's. This is literally the equivalent. Like it's that based. It's literally that based, by the way.
So you know, Mike Asante is my best champion.
Same, yeah, same. I'm sure the scouting, bro. I'm sure the scouting showed it. The C9 scouting. I don't know.
Ain't nobody scouted you, bro. Right now, we're all looking at Jojopyun. That's the only scouting we're looking at.
How many mid bans today, guys?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the LCS to close out June with our Pride celebration, where we're kicking off the day with Cloud9 and Evil Genius's LG battling head-to-head here for that first place spot.
Best matchup so far in summer. I'm so excited for this one. At the top, Cloud9, EG. Everybody expected Cloud9 to be here, but not Evil Geniuses.
Yep, they brought Kobe and I back to cast this banger, but this is the birthday hangover version because it was our birthday yesterday. We went out for dinner afterwards. That's why the sunglasses are on.
You had drinks,
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, Kobe was responsible.
Yeah, Kobe's not even wearing the sunglasses.
No, that's why he's ready for the day.
Yeah,
I'm hiding from it.
I was drinking water.
Was that and all them teas that you always drink? Kobe drinks a lot of those. What is it, matcha teas?
Yeah. He's a big matcha
player. Yeah. Big healthy tea drinker. But man, today's matchup, C9 versus Evil Geniuses. This is one everybody's been looking forward to. Match of the week for a reason. It's the one I'm most excited about here for today. Yesterday, Cloud9's bottom lane got smacked around a little bit, and I think all the C9 fans are hoping that they've got that fixed up for today.
And that's one of the biggest matchups I'm looking at in this game here is Berserker versus Unforgiven. And we're already seeing some early focus here with the ban on the Blitzcrank. So maybe Cloud9 do want to play like an Enchanter lane, then they don't want Blitzcrank kill potential versus Berserker and Zven. I mean, yesterday, you cannot afford to have bottom lane inting, or especially that early in the game, like yesterday, against this caliber of team.
And C9 makes the best possible choice. They ban Vi away from both Evil Geniuses and themselves. So now Armao can't pick it, and neither can Blaber.
Truly five-head coach right there.
Yeah, definitely had some struggles in that last game, and I think that, as Jatt was saying on the desk, sets up a very interesting 2v2, both in the bot lane as Kobe was just talking about, but also in the mid jungle, where Jojopyun, I feel like every single game he has played, he has been the best player in that game. Every single game through 8 games, he has been the best. I think that's why he's a lot of people's early season MVP candidate, and it puts a lot of pressure on Blaber, a former MVP, and Emenes, a lot of people who thought should have been last season's All-Pro.
Are Evil Geniuses setting up a Nico trade right now? Nico, okay, they're not setting up. It's everybody's always waiting, you know, for one of these like counters to come up and trade it through and have something surprising in store, but not so far. Okay, there's what I was thinking. After the Blitzcrank ban, you think they're going to go Enchanter support. They lock in the Milio first. You can do, you know, a Phelios pairing, but Milio is so versatile. You can pair it with anything down there. We could see a lot of other stuff from Berserker, Lucian, Draven even, as he definitely has been the Draven player for LCS as of recent times.
Yeah, we've seen Milio priority drop a little bit. Talking to some people, I know they feel like it's not quite as strong as it was before. I really like this 1-2 out of EG, setting up a very aggressive top half of the map there for whatever Jojo wants to slam as a potential melee in the mid lane.
And Milio is not just about, bottom lane matchup, which we expect to be double range, pretty strong, favorable for Cloud9, but Blaber has talked about it over and over. He's like, every time we get Milio, why not pick Kindred? It's just such a good jungle support combination. Gives Kindred so much extra safety, and they get it yet again. In the state that Kindred's in right now, and the state that Triforce is in right now for rushing, and adding Milio onto that, even with the slight nerfs that they gave to it, I feel like this is a power duo for Cloud9.
And it's not just the state of the champion, the state of the items, it's the state of Cloud9 and how they're willing to play around their jungler in a way that other teams might not be willing to invest in. Blaber is such a leader on this team. He's the guy that they can trust to get it done, and we've seen him do it even earlier in this split. C9 also going to lock in that famous Cassante there, one of the teams that really likes flexing it to mid lane.
Yeah, we'll see where that ends up going. Coach Moser on stage, getting another great draft. I think the Varus taken up last. It's one of Unforgiven's best champions this split, playing the AP version and securing the fact that they don't need AP out of the mid lane here. For whatever Jojo wants to play for his counter matchup, ranged, melee, whatever it's going to be, this pick is such a crutch in the bot side to make sure that you have set up with your CC, range damage, and AP.
Yeah, definitely one of the better static Shiv users. And there's the Aphelios that we were looking for, so EG banning that one out. You know, following it up, we'll see if they want to ban out some of the more aggressive ones, like the Lucian, the Draven that we mentioned. Azir finds his way here, not going to let the blind go through. But Jojo's really preferred the more aggressive matchups for mid lane. You know, staring down the Cassante, Fudge said, it's my favorite champion, and obviously Emenes has been one of our mid laners to play the most of it, so you still have to worry about the flexibility there, but Ahri is still available for Jojo if Evil Geniuses still want to go that route and blind.
Well, they did not focus those aggressive marksmen like you were talking about with Lucian and Draven. Instead, Aphelios and Xayah, two of the more scaling options, two of the options that traditionally don't have to go as crazy during the laning phase. They just don't want to allow Berserker to have that state of being where he can just play passively, farm up, beat you in terms of the economy game, and then show up, one-shot a team fight and win the game.
Well, the other thing, too, is for EG, they actually don't mind playing that way either. You saw talking at the top of the day that Unforgiven has some of the best CSing stats in the entire world almost right now. And so if you're going to go for an uninteractive lane phase, like, he's actually kind of fine with that. And oftentimes, Eyla starts moving around the map. He's done a good job of comboing with Armao, bringing that Team Liquid Academy experience to go make things happen around Jojo and Revenge.
All right, what do we want here from EG in the support?
Okay,
well,
that's not as much roaming.
Locked in. So this lines up perfectly with what I've said so many times. Whenever I see Kindred in the game, I want to see both sides pick Yeet champions. I want to see you be able to knock the other guys out of Lamb's Rest, but it can change the fight so dramatically, and EG locks in the Janna.
I still want to see the Draven. Come on, baby. Come on. All right.
Lay down the gauntlet. The takeaway here, not surprised that the Ahri gets locked in, put the Cassante into Renekton, a very common matchup you see, both sides of it. And Ahri being one of JoJo's best champions, no surprise that Emenes is going to take that one away. He plays it quite well himself. Will have a lot of shove to buy space for Blaber to run around the map, try and grab these Kindred marks early on.
All right, what's the AD carry choice here? I'm not expecting it to be a bot lane AP carry Heimerdinger. Ashe has been one that has not been incredibly successful so far here in the LCS as a marksman with the new age Trinity Force builds. It's been coming up kind of short in the damage department.
Yeah, I mean, I still really wanted the Draven.
The collective groan.
It's annoying into the Janna, so we'll see how well Eyla does play that Janna. And so they go with the Ashe, you know, the supportive role instead. Probably going to be double Trinity Forces on the side of Cloud9, but having that Ashe arrow for the engage definitely will help out. Create some structure for the Kindred Milio here to be a real power carry. And then we round it out with the Jayce mid for Jojo into the Ahri for Emenes. That one definitely could get spicy pretty early.
Yeah, very interesting. Explosive matchup in the mid lane. Has a lot of poke that you can combo the Varus with. Also, going hammer form, having the opportunity to combo with Sejuani. I think this is the second Jayce game for Jojo. I think the time he played before was into Nico. Is one of the things I was going to say that we've seen both these teams actually try. But this time into the Ahri instead. You can expect a lot of attention around mid lane. Both these guys are very aggressive players.
So who do we think won the draft, boys?
I mean, I just always love when you see Blaber with some sort of support from the rest of the team, and they've already successfully used the Kindred Milio combination so far, even with some slight taps onto Milio. I feel like that is going to be some good setup. Although the other duo that I'm most in love with is Sejuani Renekton at the moment, so it's hard. I want which duo do I go with?
You can't sit on the fence, Kobe. I'm picking EG. I love the AP Varus for Unforgiven. I love the Sejuani for Armao. Like you said, Renekton for Revenge. Like, I think this is a lot of really strong comfort stuff. And the Ashe, for me, just put me down as Ashe hater. I had not been super impressed by the Triforce Ashes, whether they go Shiv or Kraken or whatever next. It just feels like it's sometimes hard to punch through front lines.
I'm just ready to see what this Janna can get done. This is a support pick that we're really not seeing much, if any, of. So EG, man, if they can take down Cloud9 here, they will be comfortably in first place. A couple wins ahead of them, but C9 would love to tie the standings up there, go back to that even spot there for that first place. Let's see if we've got anything out of the ordinary here. Spellbook there for Emenes on the Ahri. Everybody having the teleports in solo lanes. Cleanse only on Unforgiven. Berserker choosing to run the Ghost instead. Heal on both supports.
Not too many shenanigans yet.
Nah, C9's looking to get some vision down here on the enemy blue buff. Emenes, nice fancy feet there, stepping away from both the Tornado and the Shock Blast.
Emenes living in their head rent-free, dodges the first two skill shots. He's feeling himself.
And they got the ward down on blue buff, so mission accomplished for Cloud9 early. Kindred trying to get some early scouting here. Blaber always loves to get aggressive with it. And let's see, can they make the jungle the star of the show? Definitely has been the case previously for Cloud9. And when you've got Hawkshot to complement the early wards as well, makes it pretty easy for Cloud9 and Berserker to continue tracking.
It is a important matchup here. The fact that Armao was the jungle coach last split for Cloud9 actually. He talked about learning a lot from Blaber, and Now it's, can the pupil defeat the master kind of scenario here where Armao is trying to get revenge on him. But like you said, with the hawkshot and these kinds of things, lots of tools to keep track of.
Yeah, I love how the headline is, how much did the coach learn from the jungler when he was coaching the jungler? But also, you know, it's a two-way street. And of course, they did talk about the value that Armao brought as a coach trying to help with Blaber as we get a pretty good early trade on the bottom side. Definitely very beneficial with the early Milio aggression.
Exactly. Berserker popped the ghost as soon as the cozy campfire dropped on him to guarantee he could get as many autos as humanly possible there, just trying to get that early lane control, make sure that Eyla and Unforgiven are going to be on the back foot, farming up underneath the turret. Volley tags two there again. Nicely done. Cloud9 not having the very early difficulties that they had in the 2v2 yesterday.
No, looking a lot better. The Glacial Augment tried to keep the Berserker slowed, but did force the heal out, so down that summoner for the bot lane. And I think you can expect this to be Ashe Milio favorite early on with the volley spam and the range advantage that you're going to have. Janna and Varus much more focused on just farming up, surviving this lane phase, and then being able to contribute a lot of utility later in the game.
They could even dive on this wave, building up a big wave here for Cloud9. If they take down that cannon, Blaber, they can go for the dive. They scout it for Evil Geniuses, so good awareness to know. In the stacked wave, they see this coming, they preemptively ward, and they try and stay under turret. They try and rush their level 2s. They do get them.
C9's ready to make the dive here. Unforgiven gonna take the damage. Zven trying to flash away. First blood, back over to Blaber. Eyla wants to try to get one back, but he won't do it. C9 juggles the aggro, and they get the play.
And Fudge, all-star there, interrupts the teleport on top lane. You didn't get to see it on your screen, but K'Sante going in, he knocks revenge, stops the teleport from coming in, allows Cloud9 to complete their dive on bottom side as Jojo trades flashes. Barely living there. Emenes almost had him. The level up as well, giving the extra health as he's running away from it. No Foxfires touch him. And they get out scot-free.
We knew this was going to be an explosive game. Flashes being blown there just for fighting over the mid wave. You love to see it. And here, this dive just very well executed by both teams. Actually, I think they did a good job of trying to focus down Zven a little bit. He almost dies to that. The fact that that gets stopped is probably why there was no cleanup kill, because you could have double E dash. Hold on!
Hold on, boys! EG's making a play. They're trying to find the mid lane dive. They'll get it, but Blaber farming up the chickens nearby was in the immediate response position. He'll make it a 1-for-1 trade. Gets Armao.
Yeah, and could he go up topside to get the other mark as well? He got one off of killing enemy jungle there, handed right to him. Even though you get the dive onto Emenes, you give Blaber a mark and some extra gold into the real carry of the team, which is jungle. Guess what? Cloud9, all according to plan, they've got 2 kills on Blaber. Revenge wants to stop the topside scuttle mark here.
Lots of EG pings went down. You saw them all saying that this is the priority for them. Armao on respawn, charging through his own jungle to try and get there. Looks like Blaber realizes he can't get it.
Yeah, Blaber going to choose discretion as the better part of valor here. Does not want to run it down for the scuttle crab. Just keeping this one nice and easy. Picks up his own Gromp instead. Of course, EG can see that he's on that camp, so Armao has all the freedom in the world to secure the crab himself. But does he want to get into anything else here?
Even though they have mid push for Armao, it is a little deep here.
Oh, he's ready to keep going. Forces Blaber to jump back over the wall with a dance of arrows. The wolf still being whittled away. Smite is up for Armao, not for Blaber. If this gets a little bit lower, Armao could try to steal it away, but he doesn't want to overcommit because Emenes is here. All right, so Blaber still gets it.
Yeah, he can go back for his first base now, too. He's a very, very rich Kindred. I think Evil Geniuses really need to be aware of the next timing for Blaber. He's got 31 CS here, plus the 2 kills is enough for the Hearthstone Axe as well as the Sheen. Very accelerated Trinity Force timing for this Kindred, so EG, the members without flash, especially mid lane and jungle, do need to be ready for some of these 2v2s.
You could see that they wanted them too. The fact that they were hunting Blaber so aggressively on his side of the map, they had shove in mid. It was just Fudge with the teleport that probably stopped that fight from escalating further. But you know that EG is aware Blaber's the guy we got to start focusing and shutting down if we can.
And where you want to take that priority for Blaber is to the bottom lane. Berserker has a massive CS difference on bottom side. They've got the roam in from Emenes, and they're going to prep another bot side dive.
Well, Revenge also having to get away from topside there as he knows what K'Sante can do if you're too close to the turret. It costs the dominance, but now C9 looking for the dive. Here in the bottom lane. They find a lot of burst on the Unforgiven. They'll get him first. Ayla's now down below 100. C9 juggling the aggro beautifully again. Armao all also pops. Blaber gets traded for it, but it's a 3-for-1 here in the bottom lane, and C9 throttles them.
C9 is reminding everyone who are the kings of the LCS. There was a lot of hype around EG. People were starting to believe in them, but they are destroying the bot lane here. The 4-man overload. C9 going in, Emenes landing this first charm, setting them up to find all this follow-up, and they did such a good job juggling this aggro with the mobility of Ahri taking as many turret shots as he can before finally ulting out the last second.
Yeah, even with Armao on the tanky Sejuani trying to get in front and tank the charm, they still blast right through all of them. The Q through all from Emenes, tanks up the last turret shot, still saves the extra time there, has the Spirit Rush, knows he's going to be able to get out, and they drop 1 for 3 plus a massive minion wave of difference. The one thing that EG have been able to deny is the Scuttle Crab Mark spawns. So Armao's able to deny one. You got to give him a little crumb, Flowers.
Man, that's a microscopic crumb. You just might be hallucinating that one.
That's
I don't
dust.
know, man. Plus 2,000 gold, 7.5 minutes into the
Scuttle
game.
dust.
100% KP for that hard carry Kindred that we're talking about C9 loving to play around. That Trinity Force, you already mentioned it's going to be accelerated, man. That thing is going absolutely nuclear.
Yeah, the game plan from Cloud9 playing out so well here with all the focus down towards their Milio Ashe lane, having Blaber repeatedly clear to that area, and Emenes a full chase.
Emenes going in, waits the charm. Forces the flash out of Jojo, chases after with the Orb Deception for the kill. Emenes finds himself his first kill of the game. And Armao is a level 5 Sejuani, and Emenes has his team. It's a double kill for the mid laner, and he tosses a charm back over to Revenge to top it all off. Fudge is ready to go all out. Revenge wants to go all in. He picks one up, but he still gets traded back, and Emenes lives for the piercing arrow.
Emenes popping off there, just chasing Jojo down, forcing that fight to happen. Armao not dinging 6 yet, had no way to throw an ultimate to get the Ahri off Jayce, and then the rest of C9 coming in to back him up. Huge roam out of Zven.
Yeah, I mean, the Milio, it just provides so much. The confidence for the chase down here. Emenes uses the Spirit Rush right in Jojo's face. He hit the charm. He follows with the flash as the Q, and there's no way he's going to go down either with the Milio here for defense. Zven gets him with the extra kick there back on Armao just to make sure. And then Emenes is going to get the reset. One more charge for his Spirit Rush. Lands the charm onto Revenge as well.
Revenge does find the one cleanup kill, but it costs him everything in the... Oh, we don't have time to talk about it.
Jojo's bottom lane trying to pick up the kill on Berserker here, but he might just drop first. Berserker puts an arrow in his heart, and Eyla's just a lonely Janna trying to survive in a mean, mean world. It's mean as hell. Double kill for Berserker.
After yesterday, I was so hyped for EG. You know, what they did to Immortals is now reversed, and it's being done to them by Cloud9. This lead, massive in the early game. Absolute domination here. 10 kills already before 10 minutes.
Feel Berserker playing angry after that game yesterday where him and Zven kind of got embarrassed on the side of TL, and here they are just absolutely clapping the side of EG. Even EG having to roam up mid lane, not getting anything in return. Berserker just farming up. There's no way. Are they fighting this?
Armao is sniffing around like they want to, but Ashe is going to be first. Ashe is coming from base, so they'll have Berserker early.
Man, whatever he's sniffing, he needs to plug his nose. They are down 4,000 gold looking to fight a neutral objective at 10 minutes. Hell no, get out, go home. C9, get it.
Calm down, little Toro rider there, yeah. And it's gonna be a top-down clear then. It should be easy for Cloud9 now to turn their sights to play around bottom half of the map yet again. They take Rift Herald off of the map and should just transition over towards the Dragon side. Here's another look at that attempt from Jojo, but Berserker does have the flash ready.
Such a good job just kiting this one out, able to kill Jojo, last second flashing, and then just making this Ashe pick work, dominating from basically level 1 onwards, something that is one of the things Ashe can do, and I think maybe that's what some of the other Ashes haven't done historically.
Oh, another nice charm coming out from Emenes. Blaber's right there, ready to follow it up, and C9 find kill number 11 before it even hits that on the clock. Now Armao gets locked down a little bit further, gets away thanks to an ulti buffered through the stun so he can stun Cloud9 back. Emenes with a TP in, but now he might be in a bit of trouble. The Chains of Corruption locked him down. Berserker still looking to chase this a little further. Heal comes out from EG and Eyla. They don't drop anybody anybody else here in the bottom lane, but C9 tried hard. Blaber, meanwhile, takes the Drake, drops the Herald back in the mid lane. C9 are just keeping this pace up.
They're multitasking, Flowers. They get mid-turret plates with the Herald charge that's dropped while taking the Dragon, while pressuring bottom side and shoving them back out of their own territory here. Zven getting some deeper wards through the blue quadrant so that they continue this aggressive game plan. The invades here towards the bottom half of the map can continue, and Cloud9 just keeping up the pace so effectively here.
And it's hard to find a route back into this game when everything seems to be going their way. Emenes playing incredible, landing another charm to set up this initial kill onto Jojo. And then because Jojo's dead, when they start having this fight in the bot side, Emenes can just take his teleport and just follow up as soon as it looks like it might be dicey because they land this ultimate. They trade these out. Unforgiven's down there. They want to get another interrupt on the teleport. Wow. Fudge has been ruining Revenge's attempts to get involved in the game. He says, this is an island, you're not let off of it.
Tackled him again, yeah. Every time he tries to get on the boat off the island, tackles him right back down. Nope, you're gonna stay here with me. Renekton in lane, not even getting any CS lead or anything up there versus Cassante, so everything going the way of Cloud9. And by the way, Blaber has had the 4 marks here, so has the extra range for the Kindred and fully operational. All you have to do now is continue to force the plays on the bottom half of the map, or even visit mid lane to repeat these pickups towards Jojo and keep him down. He has not been able to get any leverage for Evil Geniuses.
The crazy thing is too, 5,000 gold lead, they only actually have 6 plates total, which when you look at some of these monstrous early game leads through the first 14 minutes of the game, a lot of the time it includes a lot of objectives going your way, but it's a lot of CS leads and it's just a lot of kills that C9 has been dominating with, which means it can get even worse once they actually start breaking turrets.
Nice use of the arrow there to force the flash out of Eyla, but I want to go back to something that Emily was talking about on the desk before we got into this game, and that's the individual skill of Blaber and Emenes both being so high, but looking at Jojo and Armao as this playmaking duo, this absolute core in the machinery of EG, and between the two of them, they're 1 and 6. They have not been able to find that mid-jungle duo success in this game, and it's been Blaber and Emenes running the show as Armao is forced back, the cozy campfire giving Kindred that extra arrow range. Emenes comes over the wall, the charm is cleansed, but the Everfrost forces the flash immediately after too. Ayla disengaging with the ulti. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Cassante versus Renekton's going Cassante's way. Who would have guessed? As Armao tries to get away from Blaber, who will not let him have anything in his own jungle.
Yeah, the only thing allowed to Evil Geniuses is some alone time for Jojo onto the turret to get some turret plates, but that's in trade for continued massive pressure bottom side of the map. It's a 40+ CS lead here for Berserker, depending on the recall timers, and Berserker's about to collect another mid wave as well.
Yeah, 4 kills as well. 2,500 gold lead basically over the side of Unforgiven. And that's going to be the problem that EG are going to have to solve if they want to come back into this game. How do you get on top of Berserker and kill him when there's also a Milio, when there's also a Kindred who's another marksman threat effectively? It does feel like a borderline impossible task. We've seen some crazy comebacks in the LCS. We've seen 10K gold leads coming back, but this is not feeling like one of them so far.
Yeah, especially because a lot of comeback scenarios depend on either Sejuani or Varus ultimates picking someone off. But when you have a Milio ultimate denial ready and we get another combo, this Crocodile's toast.
Yeah, Revenge is going to try to fight it out. He'll heal up a little bit thanks to Coldamik and the Gore Drinker, but he still drops. Blaber, not afraid to take a 1v2. He knows he's got backup coming. Zven makes his way up to give the cozy campfire buff again. The Enchanted Crystal arrow misses, and Armao survives with just 100 HP.
Wow, I love this duo so much. Oh my goodness, you get speed, healing, range, damage, and a free cleanse. What more can Kindred want?
Hard CC setup.
Okay.
If you land the Q, you have it on Milio. There you go.
Meanwhile, oh, never mind. I thought we were going to get a Cassante moment. Never mind. Okay, go back to your analysis.
To go back to some of the analysis, EG has looked incredible so far through the season, but I was kind of saying that every game that he's played, it feels like Jojo's been the best player in that game. That is not the case this time around. It shows that some of the potential problems EG might have if Jojo has a worse game. And it wasn't like he was terrible or anything like that. It was just Emenes was going toe-to-toe with him and then was able to spill over to the bot lane with early roams. And now that he's on the back foot, EG look really lost in this game.
Yeah, we had a little piece yesterday where we asked a whole bunch of the players, you know, who's your rival? Who are you looking at in the league? And Jojo was like, well, I guess it would be any of the other good mid laners. So just Emenes.
Yeah.
And just pointed him out as a singularity. And showing up this time around, really as a team, though, for Cloud9 if they get another pick.
Unforgiven locked up with the charm into the Everfrost. Blaber gets the killing spree there for free. Cozy Campfire giving them that extra range. They're going to keep on chasing. Revenge is the target. Berserker and Blaber do so much damage together. He's already down. The charm going over the wall, looking to intercept the blast cone, but Armao can't even make it. He'll get chopped to pieces. Blaber taking another kill. 15-3 for Cloud9. It's normally the point of the game. I'd say, hey, go get the Baron, but it's only 16 minutes in.
Right on cue, Emenes finds another charm onto Unforgiven to set up 3 more kills into the back pockets of Cloud9, just playing so well with Fog of War, baiting them to step forward with this low HP turret. You can see he's not even that far forward. He's well behind where the turret is, but still Emenes knowing that's where he's going to be able to attack from in the Fog of War, finds that initial kill, and then they just keep forcing forward. Blaber playing so confident, just flashing on top of Revenge.
Yeah, because he's got the backup to do it. Berserker adding a little bit of extra there. And we've got, the Cassante ult canceling the blast cone. Move block afterwards, be able to push him on through.
And you could see the charm from Emenes shot off to the right. That wasn't a misclick. That was anticipating Armao going over with the blast cone. It was to grab him after he landed. But unfortunately, Cassante just said, nope, I'm going to stop him myself. And that just made it that much easier for C9, who now can secure the 3rd Drake of the game and Soul Point.
Cassante even by his own teammate. I want to look good too. Meanwhile, they pick up everything on the map pretty effortless here. I wonder if you can even get an objective bounty shutdown, because ideally for Evil Geniuses, you want to make cross-map plays. Cloud9 are obviously way too strong to fight. So send as many resources to the opposite side of the map. They're sending everybody to try and ensure that they can get an objective bounty shutdown. All right, there we go. Comeback mechanics on display, Mark.
All right, let's look at this massive gold swing back in EG's favor. 800. Never mind, they're also losing their bot side at the same time, Kobe. They overloaded to get that objective bounty, but the Rift Herald was still in the back pocket of Cloud9. They're going to break an inhibitor turret before 20 minutes.
Yeah, Revenge might still be pushing that tier 2 in the top lane, but Cloud9 has already broken into the base of EG on the bottom side. Jojo nearly killed, gets away, but just barely. Fudge keeping it going, goes all out, finds one, finds a knock-up onto 2. It's Cassante, and he ain't taking any sort of answer other than hell yeah. C9 going straight for the base, and they're going to look for even more kills to pad those stats. Revenge only lives because of the Lamb's respite, but I don't think he's going to find a whole lot once it expires. 18-3, 19-3. You would not guess that this was a battle for first place, because Cloud9 have just been making them look silly.
They had one minion with them. Maybe we keep on pushing it there, but they're going to retreat, just take all of the spoils of war here, and return to finish the job later.
I was worried it was going to be Dancing Shelly. Armao smited that one down, and then Revenge on the teleport cleared the wave to make sure they could not end the game before 20 minutes. But that is the only saving grace for EG right now, the fact that it's not more humiliating than it already is, because Cloud9, like you said, kind of putting that debate to bed with how dominant they are over EG right now. Even though they'll be tied in the standings, you heard in the Smack Talk video, Fudge said, hey, if we beat you here, we got the tiebreaker. We're the better team in the LCS.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to argue which one of them's better when you're looking at a game state like this. We were expecting close game. We were expecting match of the week. Maybe we weren't expecting how pissed off Cloud9 would get losing to Team Liquid yesterday.
Production's already airing the next like, this game's dead. Let's don't leave yet though. Mundo dodgeball.
Hold on now. Emenes finding a charm onto Eyla. Nobody else is close enough to give him any backup. So he's not going to overcommit just yet, but a TP ready to arrive as Blaber finds Revenge off to the side. Revenge does not want anything to do with this fight. Emenes not going to hit the charm on Unforgiven, but Fudge is ready to find him anyway. One more hit from the Intofo strikes, finds a killing spree for the C9 top laner. Flash in for the knockback. Revenge wants to go into the back line. He finds Berserker, but he won't get the kill. They're just too far behind. Blaber is godlike, and he's not going to stop the chase. C9 continues, and the Cozy Campfire keeps them warm as hell. These guys are not messing around.
They certainly are not. One more minion. Actually, they can just go get Baron now. Armao, can you work some magic, buddy? Because Evil Geniuses need a whole magic show to come back in this one. He's on a ward, so it's going to be very difficult to get inside. Cloud9 probably just go kill him.
Man, he's going to need a full-on, like, wizard hat to be able to cast a spell good enough for this one. C9 just controlling this game from start to finish. Emenes, Blaber, and Zven. Nope, they're all just looking for that Sejuani. Easy follow-up there. They're going to secure the Baron. Emenes might even be able to find another kill here. Zven coming up, Ready to buff him there. It is Orb of Deception. Second half of the damage goes through. Nice predict on the charm there into the Ultra Mega Fire Kick just for a little bit more disrespect. C9 gets the Baron. They don't even need to reset. They're looking to push down top lane.
Here comes the pain train. All right, Cloud9 full steam ahead. They're going to 4-1 split push. Fudge try and get the mid wave up. The rest of the team's not going to wait around, though.
Revenge is on a flank, maybe looking for some sort of miracle here if he can get the angle. EG backing away. They want to fight when Armao is back alive, but C9's going to knock down the inhib before that even happens. All right, Revenge pops the Dominus for the early Fury generation. Now he's coming around from the side. Blaber's taken low, but not low enough to burst him down before he lands Respite. Now he's going to heal. Remember, Revenge already used the flash in the previous fight. They stun up Fudge, but that don't matter. That's not the guy you need. He stays in the front line, forcing back Revenge and Jojo. C9 knows that Blaber is low, but the rest of the players are ready to fight. Berserker is godlike, and Blaber's just putting the damage on the mid lane turret. He's still doing work. He's just working at a different job. It's C9 pushing all the way into the Nexus. Fudge leading the charge. Unforgiven in the dirt once more. Emenes goes on a rampage, and C9 goes wild. They'll take down EG.
Cloud9 stumbled yesterday, but they climb right back to the top today.
Cloud9 7-2, tied for first place, but with the tiebreaker in their back pocket after absolutely destroying Evil Geniuses. And it all goes back to that level 1, level 2 trading advantage off Berserker and Zven's bot lane play. After getting destroyed yesterday, they bounce back and set up the entire side of C9 for success.
Wasn't close, wasn't kind of close, wasn't sort of close, wasn't even a little close. C9 made easy work out of Evil Geniuses in this head-to-head. I was expecting a much closer matchup, but C9 came ready for this one.
And one of the things that this team has used over so many opponents in the LCS is such a wide diversity in draft. They've really been flexible, and some of the failures have been in when they're experimenting and trying different things. But they said literally in their interview after their multiple Kindred Milio games, this is one of their favorite tools to use. And they certainly showed it today.
I love it. Breaking out the bread and butter in an important match to cement themselves as still the top dog in the LCS. The chirping was starting. I was one of them, starting to chirp, starting to predict against them. I learned my lesson. C9, you are the best team in the LCS, hands down right now.
Hush, little baby.
Yeah.
No more out of you.
Nope, I'm going to be quiet the rest of the day.
Cloud9, though, here's the end of it. Blaber got chunked a little bit low, and the arrow for Unforgiven made it so that he wasn't in the Fallout fight, but Fudge doesn't care. He's got plenty of DPS behind him anyway, so goes the extra Q here, locks in Revenge, and you know the end of the story.
I also appreciate EG looking for this play. They hadn't reset in a while. They're sitting on a lot of gold. They're kind of low on health and resources. You're going to lose the game anyways. Go pull the trigger there and either start coming back or just get out of the game, go next fast.
Yeah, well, it was a fast one indeed, and with it wrapped up, a reminder, tickets are officially on sale for the LCS Championship in Newark, New Jersey on August 19th and 20th. You can head on over to Ticketmaster.com right now to claim your spot. But now it's time to join Jatt with Blaber and Zven on stage for the Verizon post-game interview.
Thank you very much, Captainflowers, Zven, and Blaber. That was fast.
Yep.
Zven, I want to ask you, because yesterday was a rough game against Team Liquid. Did that impact the way you guys played today against GG?
We didn't play yesterday. At least I wasn't playing, but I mean, sometimes it just happens. You just get rolled over level 1. Happened to EG this game too. It just happens.
Is it as simple as that? Like, or do you feel like you had a different energy today versus the game yesterday?
I mean, we were definitely a little bit pissed off today. I'm not gonna lie. You know, TL got us fired up a little bit, and we took it out on EG. These guys thought they were good, but here we are, right? So after my disaster yesterday on Rakan, I'm back on the range champs. You know, we have like a 1-by-1 kind of thing where, okay, one game on Yuumi, free win. One game Milio, free win. No, one game Rakan, one game Nautilus. So we kind of like, you know, we're trying new things here and there, but yeah.
Awesome. It does mean you do move into first place because you won the head-to-head tiebreaker against UG with the same record. You also had the most kills at 14 minutes that any team in the LCS has had this year in that game. So it felt like you were pissed off. And Blaber, I do want to ask, was it a bit of an ego battle between you and Armao? I saw Fudge and Revenge saying it was going to be an ego battle because I know you talked to Armao a lot. He was a coach for Cloud9 last split. How are you feeling about that matchup coming in?
For me, it's not like that. Like, Armao is a good friend of mine. So for me, it's just
you know, go on the ref, do my best. If he wins, I'm glad he did well, but I'm not lying. But I don't feel like it's an ego battle for me. I'm just glad he got a job in the LCS this year. I think he's deserved it for a while. But yeah, it wasn't anything personal for me today.
Yeah, and also this concludes the first round robin for you guys. 3 more weeks of the regular season. My observation has been that you have played a little bit loose in some of your losses. This looked a lot cleaner. How do you feel like you're going to be ramping up for the last half of the split?
Well, we've just been trying different stuff. Like, it might not be what's best for us. Like, we obviously know what we're going to win on. Like Kindred Milio, if we want to win, we're not going to lose on that. But
if you want to win.
If you want to win, yeah. But sometimes my coach, Mithy, he doesn't want to win, and he wants to play champs that we aren't as good at to just, you know, prep for playoffs, which I think is a good thing. So, yeah, I think we're just going to keep trying new stuff going into the second half and hopefully ramp up for playoffs.
And Zven, if EG is not a threat, who is the biggest threat for C9 in the rest of the LCS?
Rakan Nautilus.
It's a champion threat. All right. Thank you, Zven and Blaber, very much for the interview. Congrats on the win and first place. And we're going to send it back to the LCS Lounge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Cloud9, for the win, and it just goes straight into our Grubhub dub for this one. And the best way to beat the summer heat is by getting a refreshing meal on Grubhub. Use your code LCS Summer for $10 off your delivery order of over $15 or more. I should have said that first. For new diners only. Terms apply. So let's just get straight into the play, Emily.
Yeah, so obviously we call out Emenes for this because of his entry into this turret dive and the charm he lands right here. However, this was obviously a team play, right? Like, they are revisiting bot lane after the kind of fiasco that the interview already talked about. This, to me, was where the game was like, okay, it's over. Like, we're doomed. It's done. And we talked about this mid-jungle from you know, C9 versus Armao, Jojo versus Blaber and Emenes. And I think Blaber and Emenes like vastly outperformed them today. And a lot of it was because of Emenes and Blaber going bot side and really taking advantage of that pushing lane.
100%. And I felt like that was the finishing touch to a big setup. There was the first dive, which actually took top lane TP out of it. It was canceled too, so he didn't have TP. Mid lane didn't have TP because both of their lanes were looking really grim. So then suddenly, 4v2 or a 4v3 dive because Sejuani is there, and it just didn't matter at that point. So it felt like Cloud9 completely dismantled them. That being said, I think we covered it properly.
It felt like it because they did.
You're right. But that's it for the matchup. TL versus GG is next. But first, something we're pretty sure is the world's first. You know Mundo Dodgeball. You know Dodgeball. But what about Mundo Dodgeball? Let's check it out. Hey!
Don't turn your back. You hit your teammate. I'm winning. Oh,
Let's get a crush.
Welcome to Mundo Dodgeball. It's Mark and Speaker versus Blaber and Raz. They're playing dodgeball. It's a best of 3. The player who actually hits the most cleavers and kills the other Mundo wins. Let's start.
Oh!
I picked the wrong skin.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I got Corporate Mundo.
I wanted to go Mundo, and I went Corporate Mundo.
What? Speaker, I heard you were talking for this, huh?
No, I wasn't.
I heard though.
I just want to say no.
I got my balls first.
I wanted you.
Oh, don't slip on the balls.
Listen, Raz, I wanted you, okay?
You
were my first pick.
I didn't hear that.
You were my first pick until some allegations came through.
Who are the allegations coming from?
Your teammate, Blaberfish.
Blaber, is this true?
Is this true?
Confirm, nor did I. What's being said?
There's no balls yet. We're waiting until the game starts.
Okay.
Run.
How do I walk?
Go Baron.
How do I walk?
Right click, bro.
Oh, left clicking.
No, right click. Bro, what?
Oh, I've been playing too much Diablo.
Yeah, actually though.
Also, Blaber.
Wait. No. Are we ready?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, I have one peek.
Hey, whoa, what the fuck? Even that helped out. Go.
Wait, that's cheating.
Hit him a couple times. Okay, don't get too close to the line. If you get too close to the line, I'm gonna hit you. I don't know how to turn it off. I just healed, by the way. I just healed by accident.
I mean, I'm sorry, buddy. That's your fault.
Yeah, that's heels down.
Blaber's unhinged.
Okay, wait, 140, yeah?
Yeah, 140.
Okay? Yo, Raz, don't look at me like that.
I'm looking at you, bro.
All right. Dodgeball's thrown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Hey! What the heck is going on? Hey, don't turn your back. You hit your teammate. What the?
I need momentum. I need momentum.
Anything.
What are you doing?
Wait. Oh, I'm trying to hit the laptop.
Don't hit my face.
I'm ghosting.
Hey, no headshots. Yeah,
I didn't hear that rule.
For the head.
That rule doesn't exist.
You back off my back.
What the fuck?
Hit him! Mark, hit him!
Wait. Oh.
I woke him all the way.
Slow. You gotta throw a cleaver.
I can't.
Yo, Mark, we gotta synchronize, okay?
Oh my God.
Mark, hit him now, hit him now.
I have no idea what's going on in the game.
There we go.
I hit. Oh my God.
Good luck seeing the screen.
No.
Raz can
It's
do
close.
it.
What the?
He can swing by one cleaver. Come on.
We got it.
Stop.
What the heck?
1-0.
1-0 done.
Down one. Team Raz.
I knew you were the best, Mark.
Good.